By the time Hamatan settled in Umudim, everybody already knew Muna was not like other children. Children in Umudim came to school with dry lips and ash-white nails, wearing sweaters too thin for the cold breeze. But Muna walked as if nothing in this world could touch him. He was in primary 1, still flapping his hands when nobody was watching, still humming that small strange tune. Most children left him alone. Some laughed. Nobody understood him. Not his mother, not his teacher, not even Mama Nkeiru, his grandmother, who swore she had seen every kind of child in her lifetime. Until that Thursday, the day Mona did something that made even the boldest gossip in Umudim hold her breath. It was just so when Nneka, his mother, first noticed. Other children were beginning to babble, to call Mama, to throw tantrums, to talk their mother's wrapper. But Muna would just sit for long hours, turning the cap of a plastic bottle over and over, lining up objects, watching how it caught the light, like he was reading the secrets of the world in it. He didn't cry when he fell. He didn't laugh when tickled. He didn't chase after his ball when it rolled away. He would only stare at it, his head slightly tilted, like he was wondering whether the ball still loved him. Nneka, the mother, watched. She told herself every child was different, that boys often spoke late, that maybe he was just quiet, but quiet became silence. Silence became space, and the space between her and her son widened like a river. At 3, Muna still hadn't said mommy or mama. Not once, but he had words, strange ones. Words lifted from cartoons, from the teacher's voice at the daycare. He would echo them, word for word, tone for tone. You would think someone else was in the room. Don't touch that. We are going on a field trip. Now clap your hands. But none of these words belonged to him. If you asked him, Muna, what did you eat today? He will say, what did you eat today? If you ask him, Muna, what do you want to eat? He would say, what do you want to eat? Then laugh, as if you had just cracked a joke. He would laugh for the wind, for a moving curtain, for nothing. But when Nneka knelt and held him close, when she whispered, Muna, say something please, he would pull away, not angrily, just gently, as if the closeness was too loud for him. He didn't like tight clothes. He didn't like loud music. He didn't like certain food textures. Rice with too much stew. Okra that stretched too long. His joy came in pattern. Lining up toy spoons, watching ants for hours, bouncing on the edge of the bed. 1, 2, 3 times. Then stop, then start again. By age 4, the world was beginning to close in. Children at his daycare called him strange. One child clapped him once, and Muna didn't cry. He just stood there, blinking. Then he smiled. He didn't know when to stop doing games. He would keep jumping when the music had ended. He would keep shouting, even after everyone had sat down. So they stopped calling him to play. He didn't seem to notice either, but Nneka did. Sometimes, when they walked on the street, Muna would suddenly run. Not away, just forward, like he was chasing a sound no one else could hear. He once walked straight into an elderly woman waiting for a bus, pushed her out of his way, then turned and laughed. Not in cruelty, not even in joy, just in confusion, like the world had bumped into him first. By age 5, it was clear he had no tantrums, just quiet tension, no eye contact, just flickers of attention that passed like shadows. No two-way conversation, only phrases thrown into the air. He could repeat entire school events like a recorder, but couldn't say, I am thirsty. Nneka was drowning in unasked questions. She took him to the hospital. They wrote down things she couldn't pronounce. They said he's on spectrum. They said he had autism. They said early intervention is key. But what does early intervention mean to a single mother who earns 50,000 monthly in the city? To a mother who cannot afford therapy but must buy gari and pay rent. She watched Muna one night, standing by the fridge, laughing at the hum of the motor. He flapped his hands, paused, stopped, and whispered, "Today we are learning vowels." And something inside her broke, not from shame, but from helplessness. So she packed the bag, folded his soft clothes, wrapped his favorite rubber spoon, and took him to Umudim, to her mother, to Mama Nkeiru. They said the cock crowed 3 times that morning, but even if it hadn't, the whole village would have moved. Mama Nkeiru's daughter had come home, and not alone. The red earth was still damp with stew when Nneka stepped down from the old yellow bus. Her slippers dusty, her wrap creased from the long journey. She carried no glamour, just tired feet and the steady hand of a mother who held onto a child like a fragile calabash. Muna walked beside her, not quite holding her hand, not quite walking in a straight line. He drifted, toe walking through puddles, then flapped his arms as a goat bleated nearby. He laughed, not at the goat, but at its voice. And then without warning, he echoed, "This goat is making noise again." A phrase you must have heard somewhere, perhaps from the bus, perhaps from the TV, perhaps from Lagos. But the villagers didn't know that. They turned and they stared, not because a mother had come home, but because the child beside her laughed too hard and walked like someone stepping over invisible lines. Mama Nkeiru came out of her shop the moment she heard her name being called from the roadside. Her shop, small, wooden, with zinc that sang loudly in the rain, sat just by the bend that led to the village square. It wasn't big, but it was alive. She sold tom-tom, matches, cabin biscuits, sachet water, thick meat, chewing gums, candles, cola nuts, and on good days, cold sachet water. Children gathered there after school. Men sat on the low bench beside to chew cola nuts and talk politics. Women came to buy salt and gossip in equal measure. Everyone loved Mama Nkeiru's shop. Everyone loved Mama Nkeiru. And so when she saw her daughter, she smiled, broad and beautiful. But when she saw Mona, her smile trembled just slightly. Not in judgment, but the memory. She had heard things over the phone. Half words, delay, quiet, different. But nothing prepared her for the boy with the faraway eye. Still, her arms were warm. She bent slightly and opened them wide. "Muna, come to know, Che. Come and hug me." But Muna didn't move. He flapped his hands once, then walked past her, straight to the wooden bench beside the shop where he sat, giggled, and whispered to the zinc roofing, "Now clap your hands." A line from some forgotten classroom. Mama Nkeiru blinked, then turned to Nneka, but Nneka just sighed, slowly, like someone pouring out her last breath. "Mama, he doesn't always respond, but he's not rude." And she said it like a prayer, as if she needed her own mother to believe her. That evening, word spread like fire on dry palm fronds. "Nneka is back." She brought her song. Something is not right with him. Some said he was mute. Some said he laughed at shadows. Others swore he'd spoken voices not his own. By sundown, 5 women had passed through Mama Nkeiru's shop. Only 2 bought something. The other 3 came to greet and to see. They greeted the old woman warmly. They asked Nneka how Lagos was, then turned to look at Muna, who was sitting by the clay waterfall, flicking his fingers in front of his eyes and smiling. He didn't greet them. He didn't look at them. He was so busy watching how the light bounced off his nails. And one woman leaned close to the other and whispered, Did you see the way his eyes are moving? He didn't even answer us, children of nowadays. Or maybe it's deeper than that. Mama Nkeiru heard. Of course she did, but she said nothing. She only turned to her daughter and said, "Let him come and sleep in my room tonight. I want to know him." That night, when the moon climbed high above the mango tree and the crickets began to play their endless song, Mona woke up and began to talk, not to anyone, just to the wall. Today, we are learning vowels. If you are not ready, I will beat you. Open your book. Open your book. Open your book. He repeated it over and over, rocking slightly on the raffia mat. Mama Nkeiru sat up slowly from her bed. She watched him. The boy was not awake, not really. His eyes were half closed, his voice low and distant. She didn't touch him. She only whispered, "Who are you, Mama? And where do you go when your eyes are open but your soul is far?" By morning, he was quiet again, eating boiled yam with red oil, smiling at nothing, and the days began to stretch like silence under the hot sun.